Don't stare back, Nmesoma warned under her breath. She always knows when someone is watching her. Senior Adanne the Snake Girl, Part 1. It was a chilly Monday morning in September when Uju, a shy but curious new student, stepped onto the grounds of St. Mark's boarding school for the first time. The sprawling campus buzzed with students reuniting after the holidays, their chatting echoing across the dormitory blocks. Uju, mix of excitement and nervousness as she adjusted her oversized school bag. Her first stop was the junior dorm, where she was assigned to share a bunk with Nmesoma, a cheeky, outspoken girl known for her knack for gossip. As the dorm leader gave Uju a brief orientation, she couldn't help but notice a tall, striking senior standing near the staircase, with her flawless dark skin, piercing green eyes, and an air of authority. The senior didn't speak a word, but commanded attention just by being there. "That's Senior Adanne," Nmesoma whispered as they climbed the stairs. "She's the senior girls prefect, and trust me, you don't want to get on her bad side." Uju brushed it off, thinking Nmesoma was exaggerating. After all, every school has strict seniors who love to intimidate juniors. But later that evening during prep, Uju felt those same green eyes on her, watching her from across the hall. A cold shiver ran down her spine as she turned to see Adanne silently staring at her. No words, just a look that seemed to pierce through her. "Don't stare back," Nmesoma warned under her breath. She always knows when someone is watching her. Uju didn't understand the unease that Adanne's presence brought, but something about her felt off. It was the middle of the week, and Uju starting to settle into her new routine. But she couldn't shake the strange feelings she got around Adanne. The senior was too perfect, always in control, always watching. The other juniors avoided her like the plague, and even some of the teachers seemed overly cautious in her presence. One evening, while returning from prep, Uju noticed Adanne slip behind the dining hall and into the old storeroom. The storeroom was a place juniors were strictly forbidden to enter, and even seniors rarely went there. Nmesoma had warned her that the place was haunted, but Uju's curiosity got the better of her. She followed quietly, her heart pounding with each step. Peering through a crack in the door, Uju saw Adanne standing in front of a small mirror, her back to the wall. At first, everything seemed normal, until Adanne started peeling something from her arm. Uju's eyes widened in horror as she realized it wasn't clothes, but skin. Adanne's arm shimmered as scales began to appear beneath it, glistening in dim lights. Uju gasped loudly, her hand flying to her mouth. Adanne froze and turned slowly, her glowing green eyes locking onto Uju's. "You shouldn't be here," Adanne said, her voice eerily calm. Before Uju could run, Adanne was in front of her, her movement so fast it felt inhuman. "If you tell anyone what you've seen," Adanne whispered, her voice sharp as a blade, "you will regret it." Uju couldn't sleep that night. Her mind replayed what she saw in the storeroom over and over. Scales, glowing eyes. It felt impossible, like something out of a horror movie. But the memory of Adanne's cold, threatening words was very real. The next day, Uju avoided Adanne at all costs, but it seemed the senior was always around, at the dining hall, in the assembly, and even during evening prep. Her presence was suffocating. Uju's unease didn't go unnoticed by Nmesoma. "What's wrong with you?" Nmesoma asked as they walked back to the dorms. "You've been acting weird since yesterday." At first, Uju hesitated, but the fear of carrying the secret alone was too much. "I think I saw something. Something strange," she finally admitted. Nmesoma leaned in eagerly. "Strange how? Did someone catch you sneaking food into the dorm?" "No," Uju whispered, lowering her voice. It's about Senior Adanne. I saw her changing. Like her skin. Uju couldn't bring herself to say the word scales. Instead of brushing it off, Nmesoma's eyes widening with interest. Are you serious? She whispered. You know there's a story about her. The senior says she's not normal. They say she's cursed or something. Cursed? Uju asked, her stomach nothing. Nmesoma nodded. That's what I heard. But she's really, like that. We have to find out for sure. A few days later, during the usual rush to morning assembly, the juniors began whispering about something unusual. Chioma, a quiet and timid junior who always followed the rules, was missing. Her bunkmate insisted she saw her the night before, but now her bed was empty and her belongings were gone. The story quickly spread through the school. Some students said she ran away, but others whispered something more sinister. She must have crossed Senior Adanne. One junior muttered in the corner of the dining hall. Everyone knows she doesn't tolerate nonsense. Uju and Nmesoma exchanged worried glances. The tension around Adanne seemed to thicken. She walked into the dining hall that morning with her usual calm, but something about her was different. Colder, more distant. She glanced in Uju's direction for a split second, and it was enough to make her stomach churn. That night, Uju and Nmesoma stayed up late, whispering under their covers. What if Chioma found out something? Uju asked. What if she knew about Adanne? Then we have to be careful, Nmesoma said, her voice low but determined. But if she's involved in this, we need proof. No one will believe us without it. As the lights went out and the dorm grew quiet, Uju couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching them. The week after Chioma's disappearance, a new rivalry began brewing among the seniors. Senior Ijeoma, Adanne's closest friend and second in command, started behaving differently. During roll call one morning, she openly challenged Adanne's instructions, a bold move no one dared to make before. The tension between the two seniors became the talk of the school. In the dorms, Uju overheard Senior Ijeoma whispering to another prefect. She thinks she's untouchable, but her time is coming. Ijeoma said, her tone dripping with malice. People are staring to notice the strange things happening around her. Later that evening, as Uju and Nmesoma walked past the senior dorms, they heard raised voices. You think you can control this? Ijeoma shouted. You are playing with fire, Adanne. And when you get burned, don't say I didn't warn you. Adanne's reply was cold and steady, but it sent chills through Uju. Be careful, Ijeoma. You don't know what you are dealing with. The argument ended abruptly when a teacher passed by, but the damage was done. Uju and Nmesoma knew the seniors were divided, and it wouldn't be long before things exploded. During an afternoon chemistry practical, the students walked in tense silence as the teacher patrolled the lab. Uju and Nmesoma sat near the back, pretending to focus on their experiments, but their eyes kept darting towards Adanne, who stood at the front table, carefully measuring chemicals. Suddenly, there was a sharp sound, glass shattering. Adanne had accidentally caught her hand on a broken beaker. The class fell silent as she held up her hand, and everyone froze. Her blood wasn't red, it was a deep, unnatural green. Before anyone could react, Adanne quickly wrapped her hand in the cloth and muttered, "It's nothing." The teacher nodded and told everyone to continue, but Uju noticed the way Adanne avoided meeting anyone's gaze. Nmesoma leaned over and whispered, "Did you see that? Green blood, Uju. She's not human." "Keep your voice down," Uju hissed, but her heart was racing. If anyone else saw what they had, Things were about to get a lot more dangerous. Hello fam, please do well to like, comment and repost this video. Also click on the follow button for more interesting stories as this.